Yes, 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 yes. Oh my God. This is Otaku Talk. I'm your boy, your host, OD, and today we'll be talking and reviewing chapter 333 of My Hero Academia. As you can see, I am super hyped. I was super nervous about this chapter ever since Star and Stripe got introduced, like 3 chapters ago. I had been stressing that it felt like this was just a setup for her to just die, to give all for one greater power. And I just love the direction the mangaka took here. I am not going to lie, I had little faith, but mangaka show that this is why he does this. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited to get into this review. If this is your first time on this channel, I would greatly appreciate if you could like, share, subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Join my League of Otaku. Anyway, without much further ado, let's get into this review. All right, guys, chapter 333 of My Hero Academia, Ghosts. I can't stop smiling just because of how hype I am for this chapter. What a way! I normally save what happens for the end but I just can't wait. Like, what a way for a hero to go out. This is how a hero should go out. This leaves a great taste in my mouth. Like I said, I would have been really, really upset if it was just cut and simple. Star and Stripes' involvement was as a Diablo Ex Machina, which is basically the opposite of a Deus Ex Machina, where it's just a convenient plot point that saves the main character or the plot. It's one that ruins or screws over the main character of the plot. And so I really was like, please, Horikoshi, please don't let this be a situation where you've introduced this amazing character, this cool character with this insane quirk, just for it to be given over to all for one, just in order to increase the stakes, to make the end game fight more difficult, right? I was like, that seems kind of lazy, that seems boring. Like, come on. And I'm glad he didn't go that route. So let's start with how this chapter progressed. So we have Shigaraki slash all for one talking to himself, talking about how he's always hated one for all and new power, and how they've been working together, even though it's kind of weird. Like, they use a picture of Deku and Star and Stripe, and that was kind of confusing to me. I was like, why not use All Might and Star and Stripe? But maybe he's just talking about their ambition, I guess. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. And so he talks a bit more about how he intentionally has various villains rampaging internationally, just basically to deter attention from what he's doing in Japan, to give him time to complete his body. And that makes a lot of sense to me, that a lot of people would rationally ask, why is the news of all for one, kind of exclusive to Japan? It's past the point of like national pride. You know, someone should be like, hey yo, we need help, because if he takes over Japan, the world is next. And I always thought it might be a pride thing on Japan's part. I thought it was something on the ends of like, well, we have our own really, really super bad villains or whatever. But no, it looks like all for one has kind of planned this whole thing out, knew that, hey, if I keep the other countries distracted, they can't readily come. In fact, the only reason Star and Stripe is here in the first place is simply because she just has that kind of personality where she does whatever she wants whenever she wants, and she'll deal with the responsibilities later. Also, she feels like she holds that kind of debt towards All Might, and so she has to come here and take out the person that screwed over her master. So I really appreciate that. Last review, I was hoping for something along the lines of her being like, my court cannot transfer. If anyone that places their hand on me gets it blown off, or something to that degree. And I can't remember exactly, but I think I might have said something like what she said in this chapter, where I cannot decay, something along those lines. And so I was very, very happy to see that the author kind of not only went in that direction, he took it a step further, right? So unfortunately, the Catherine bait will not decay. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. He was already making contact with her. He was already observing absorbing the cork. So unfortunately, she wasn't able to get the rule off in time. But she did have a pre-installed rule that she set up before he touched her. So during the period where I guess she saw her comrade being um during the moment where All for One was standing on her friend's jet, I assume this is when she imposed the rule. And basically, she imposes the rule that her quirk will reject the other quirks. And by the way, once again, this is kind of a slight issue. I can look over it, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention it. A slight issue I have once again with the whole quirk situation because it's extremely vague. Now I'm hoping that in the official Viz translation that like it's clarified a bit, but it's super vague that Newt Power will rebel against the other quirks. Like what does that mean? What other quirks? Did you specify it's one for all? Like there's so much going on here. So anyway, this rule turns All for One into a disgusting mess. This dude looks it is some nightmare fuel, bro. It is disgusting what is happening to him. But the whole time I was like watching read, I'm just like, yes, 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 let's go, let's go, let's go, let's get it. Because I was hyped and I was happy that like I knew this would not be the end. I simply knew it. But I knew that this is gonna have drastic effect and this was going to have a drastic effect and impact on All for One and his ability to take over the world essentially. And this was going to delay him significantly in his plans, especially with the fact that he even admits that his body was incomplete. So for the last few chapters, you guys have probably heard me talking about like, I don't get it. Is he done? Is he not done? So he was able to put him and Shigaraki's body together. However, I guess like I said before, they're not at what you would call like 100% synchronization. Things aren't 100% settled yet. And so this buys Deku some time to train. This buys Deku some time to, master and perfect his quirk some more. This gives Deku some time to learn number 2 and 3's quirks, which I'm really hoping are useful. But like said in a long review ago, I think that it's a matter of the quirks not being that good. The only exception to that is I think the second or third might be an exception, and they might have really powerful quirks. But it seems like there's been a theme of picking people with very benign, not over the top, very basic quirks because I would assume they're humble from having those quirks, right? Like obviously the goal is to have someone who doesn't have a quirk. That way, the quirk doesn't overflow and overconsume them. But I would also assume like if you don't want to give someone that's already powerful like something like all for one for all because it might corrupt them. Like think about if, for example, Bakugo got uh on one for all without like the change that he had towards the end of the series. It would be a situation like that. Also, once again, I forget if it's 2 or 3. One of them looks a lot like Bakugo, so I'm very curious to see if there's a relationship there. Oh, also, I almost forgot to mention we get some really cool in-world lore about this comic, Captain Hero, and I'm very excited to see when the mangaka decides it's relevant to bring that back up because, yeah, I want to know about Captain Hero. I also love the fact that it reminds me of if you've ever seen Drawn Together. There's literally a hero in that called Captain Hero, and I am positive that it's a coincidence, and the mangaka really didn't have any intention of like cameoing him, but I would think it would be hilarious. It would be hilarious to me if like it was somehow the same person, but I doubt it. But I would crack the fuck up. So anyway, to wrap this up, all the jet pilots see that something crazy is going on with Shigaraki, and like well-trained soldiers, they don't hesitate for a second, and they immediately light this dude up. They are taking full advantage, especially knowing the sacrifice that Star and Stripe made. The one dude that she saved is upset, like calls her an idiot or something like that, because he's like, I was trying to die for you, not the other way around. And we're just left with, Star and Stripe just half decayed but smiling because she went out like a real fucking G. She went out like a real homie. Like she's going to go like down as one of my like favorite characters, and we only got to like experience her for like what 3-4 chapters, but she exemplified in those 3-4 chapters what My Hero Academia is all about, what it means to be a hero, what it means to put your life on the line. She weighed the pros and cons and understood that this was bigger than her, and if all for one was able to like roam free, was able to take her quirk, was able to do what he wanted, it would mean the end of the world, which means it is her responsibility to do everything in her power to stop that, and she definitely did. I also love the fact that, and I had to Google this, that she says that she it would have been nice for her to save her own life in addition to taking them out, but that was plus alpha, and I was like, plus alpha, is that like your version of plus ultra? But no, I googled it up, and apparently it's a Japanese phrase, which I also found it's weird that an American hero is using Japanese phrases, but it's basically a Japanese phrase that means it would be nice but not necessary. So like it would be cool if she saved her own life, but it's not crucial for the mission success. For the mission success, it's to kill Shigaraki. Whether or not she lives through it or not, you know, obviously you don't want to die, so it would be nice. But the mission came first, and as far as I'm concerned, she understood the assignment, and she will go down in the annals of history as one of the greatest heroes to ever do it. Um, Now that that's taken care of, I'm just really wondering what happens next. I really feel like either not a quirk, a Nomu is gonna show up, some ally of All for One is gonna show up and whisk him away. He's going to be a shell of his former self. This is going to delay his plans for quite some time. This is going to give him an opportunity to this is going to give him an opportunity, not him an opportunity, but the heroes an opportunity to bolster themselves even more. Something interesting we found out is quarks kind of operate under the same conservation laws of conservation of energy, and so basically quarks cannot be like destroyed. They can only be like given away or transferred. And so I know he looks at the pilots and decides, hey, let me like transfer to them. But obviously, he got bombarded before he could do that. So I'm wondering how exactly he's gonna get out of the bombardment. How is he going to get rid of the quarks? Can he put multiple quarks in the same pilot? I'm assuming so because he's done it with the Nomu. Is that just gonna leave him with uh new order? Is that the only quirk he's going to have? And then once he gets rid of all the other quirks, he's going to then rewrite the rule now that new order isn't actively fighting against the other quirks and like completely screwing them up. Is he just going to say screw this, it's not worth it, and get rid of new power and or new order? So there's a lot the mangaka set up here. I'm excited for this chapter. I'm excited for the next chapter. And like I feel like a broken record, but like I've said the last like several reviews, I just cannot wait for this whole sequence of events to be animated. And yeah, this is coming to quite a conclusion, and I can't wait to be here to see it. So if you guys like this chapter review, please like, share, subscribe. It would mean the world to me. If you think I missed anything, I would really appreciate it if you left it in. I really get super anxious that like, did I cover everything relevant to cover? Did I go outside of myself and think of things I possibly like that you would like to hear that I possibly didn't cover that I got into and stuff like that. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the chapter. If I missed anything, any extra things you noticed. And yeah, have a great day. Take care. It's Friday, so I hope you all have a great weekend. No One Piece for some reason. I didn't see that in the end of last week's chapter, so I'm actually super sad today because we left off on quite a cliffhanger on that series as well. But we will hopefully have a Doctor Stone review coming this Sunday. Anyway, take care, guys.